Welcome, welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. Today is January 11th, 2023, year of our Lord Jesus Christ. We are here once again. It's a bright sunny day in Naples, Florida. A little bit cool, but it's cool. It's on. All right. It's good. Um, that's if you call 60 degrees cool. Oh, it was 50 degrees. It was 50 degrees. Now, we're back. We're back to the plant paradox. I need to mirror this. I'm going to have to have this mirrored, and I'm going to mirror it again. The plant paradox by Dr. Gundry, in which we're learning why we are overweight, tired, sick, fat, and out of shape. And what you've learned so far is that it's not your fault. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's not your fault. You see, you've been working on the assumption of assumptions that you didn't know were coming back to haunt you and hurting you. So we've gone over the first three chapters, and I'm not going to go through it right now, but chapter one, the war between plants and animals. Chapter two, lectins on the loose. And chapter three is your gut under attack. Chapter four is know thy enemy, or the seven deadly disruptors. Now, I'm going to read from the book. So, quote, there is an infamous experiment you probably have heard of. Drop a frog into a pot of very hot water and it will jump right out. But put it into a pot of lukewarm water and slowly raise the temperature and it will blissfully sit there until it boils to death, unquote, end quote. Well, it's like a sauna to most of us. It feels good. We're just in the sauna, soaking, sweating, feeling quite warm and happy. And then next thing you know, it just gets up too high and bada boom. Let's start it again. The difference in between the two outcomes is simply because the change in temperature is so gradual that it is imperceptible to the frog's temperature receptors or pattern matches. End quote. So, like I was saying, you're sitting there and it's so nice and it's so warm, and gradually they turn the heat up until your blood boils to death and you die. Well, that's the way a lot of things happen. They're happening underneath. You don't know they're happening. And nobody's going to tell you because, unfortunately, there's money to be made in your sickness. As horrid as that sounds, that about sums it up. So let's get back to the book. Quote, like that frog, subtle changes within your body have been made that you have barely noticed. All of these big things that have profoundly altered you arise from very small things. Each negative alteration of your body impacts your health, which in turn means you crave more unhealthy foods and or need more drugs or medical procedures, which appear to improve our health and standard of living, but actually makes us sicker and potentially hastens our death. End quote. So you got a picture of it. And we also talked about this in the first three chapters. A lot of things that we are doing is not making us better. The medications, the surgical medical procedures are not making us better, they're making us sicker. And they're not good for us. I'm here in Naples, and I see so many people out of shape. So many people that are on medication. You go to any of the Walgreens or CVS's, and the lines are always out the door at the medication counter. And if you're outside, the drive-through line goes 5 and 6 cars deep. And it's people that are over 40, 45, 50 that are on medication, and heavily so. Not a good way to live. It's keeping you from doing the exercise that you want to do and the activities that you want to do. So we are reading this and learning about this, the plant paradox, in order to get past those medications. Now, invisible but insidious damage. Insidious means it's working without you even knowing it. Quote, most of you will be surprised to learn that the substances you use every day, eat every day, and drink every day, substances that you have been told that are good for you, have been altered such that they can completely change the way your cells communicate not only with other human cells in your body, but also with the organisms, your gut bacteria, that make up the other you. And these changes have largely come about within the last 50 years. Could it be that we are just like that frog sitting in the pot of water? What if each of us is being attacked every day, but the assault is virtually imperceptible? Imperceptible, that is, until the water is boiling. Well, if you have any of the conditions listed, and let's go to those conditions. If you have any of these conditions that I am about to read off, guess what? The water is already boiling. If you have aching joints, acid reflux or heartburn, acne, age spots or skin tags, allergies, alopecia, anemia, arthritis, asthma, autoimmune diseases such as thyroid disease, rheumatoid arthritis, type 1 diabetes, multiple sclerosis, Crohn's disease, colitis, and lupus. If you have bone loss, including osteopenia and osteoporosis, if you have brain fog, cancer, canker sores, chronic fatigue syndrome, chronic pain syndrome, colon polyps, cramps, tingling, and numbness, decline in dental health, dementia, depression, diabetes, prediabetes, insulin resistance, exhaustion, fat in the stool, which is due to poor digestion, fibromyalgia, gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, Barrett's esophagus, gastrointestinal problems, bloating, pain, gas, constipation, and or diarrhea. If you have headaches, heart disease, coronary artery disease, vascular disease, hypertension, infertility, irregular menstrual cycles, irritability, and behavioral changes, irritable bowel syndromes, IBS, low counts of immunoglobulin G, immunoglobulin M, and immunoglobulin A, low testosterone, low white blood counts, low white blood cell counts, lymphomias, leukemias, multiple melanoma, male pattern baldness, memory loss, migraine headaches, nutritional deficiencies due to malabsorption, Parkinson's disease, peripheral neuropathy, polycystic ovary syndrome, skin rashes, including herpetiformis, eczema, and psoriasis, slow infant and child growth, unexplained bouts of dizziness or evening, vertigo, weight loss, or weight gain. Yes, if you have any of those symptoms, guess what? The pot is already boiling. So that about covers almost everything we've known to man. And he's saying that the majority of this is occurring because of what's happening in your gut, which was discussed in the first 3 chapters. So let's just go a little bit further in chapter 4. Could it be? Yes. Could it be? And yes, it is. Quote, I have startling evidence that at least 7 subtle changes that have occurred in the last 50 years have completely and potentially irrevocably altered your health. We have been subject to new patents in food and even more recently, new ways of processing food into new personal care products that mimic a whole different set of compounds. End quote. Now, let's get on to the 7 deadly disruptors. First of all, we have the healthy hoax, and this is the one with the grains. And he goes through a success story where a woman was on a bread. I'm not going to name it. And this guy's got a lot of stones because he actually names names and products that are contributing to your bad health so that you will know what it is. So, but I'm going to let you read the book. Okay. If he has it, then I have it. He had a friend that was on, or a woman came to him that was on Dave's Killer Bread, and she assumed it was healthy because it was made with a variety of whole grains and promises to rock her world. Well, one loaf contained no less than 21 grains and seeds. Well, it elevated her inflammation and rheumatoid markers, and she experienced severe joint pain. But when he eliminated the bread, her markers returned to normal. So when you're saying that we have these grain things, the healthy hopes that we talked about in, I believe it was chapter 2 and chapter 3. Whole grains, wheat, oats, rice, corn, and a host of other things that are tremendously affecting your health. And you had no idea they were doing it. You thought maybe it was just you. You had bad genes, but not at all. Not at all. They're not telling you the whole truth. And that's what makes this book so important. Along with the healthy hopes, we have disruptor number 1, broad spectrum antibiotics. Now, we know antibiotics came in the 70s, 60s, and 70s, and they were capable of killing multiple strains of bacteria simultaneously. And they saved countless lives, such as pneumonia and other different, situations that people were involved in. But they were also carpet bombing you. Yeah, they were not only killing the bad bacteria, they were killing the good bacteria. So they were wiping out your whole ecostructure as far as your gut bacteria goes. And you had no idea. So that's number 1. Number 2, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs. We talked about this in chapters 3. They're painkillers, powerful painkillers. Advil, Motrin, Naproxen, Aleve, Celebrex, Mobic. Those are all non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, but they punch holes in your intestines, your small intestines specifically, that doctors can't see, and you are bleeding out or having leaky guts. Number 3, stomach acid blockers. Such drugs as Zantac, Prilosec, Nexium, Protonex are to be avoided at all costs. Now, none of you knew that. These guys have been playing havoc with your system, and nobody's told you. They tell you you can take these things without much of a risk. It's over the counter. But it's killing your stomach acid, and your stomach acid is necessary to kill the bad bacteria that enters your body. So without that stomach acid, the bad bacteria is getting in, and they're having a good old time. Okay. Number 4, artificial sweeteners. Now, this is something I didn't know. I knew they weren't too great for you, but I didn't know that they were killing a lot of your good bacteria. Okay, one single Splenda packet kills 50% of your normal intestinal flora. One packet. And again, once the bad guys take over, you gain weight as a defense mechanism to ensure that supplies of your defenders can fight against whatever you're doing, whatever's happening in your gut biome. What we're saying is that you're gaining weight. That's right. When you take these things, they come in there and they destroy your intestinal flora. Your body reacts by eating more, by telling you to eat more so that you can fight this problem. So they're supposed to help you lose weight, these artificial sweeteners, and they actually, as we have seen with everybody who is on them, they actually have made you gain weight. I always wondered why some of the biggest people I ever met always ordered a Diet Coke or a Diet Soda of some sort. And that was the reason why. Disruptor number 5, endocrine disruptors, also called or AKA hormone disruptors. They come in agents such as plastic, scented cosmetics, preservatives, and sunscreens, of which all of us have access to and use plastics, scented cosmetics, preservatives, and sunscreens. They raise our estrogen levels, and now we have problems with all kinds of things, men and women. Needless to go into it. I'm sure we know what they are. If we don't, we have some idea. Number six, genetically modified food, and of course, herbicides like Roundups. GMOs are everywhere. I'd have to say at least half of our foods are GMOs, unless you actually are going after organic foods. Most of our foods are genetically modified and have bad results with those things, but our bodies really can't absorb them. They're not used to them. They're new. Um, okay. And then disruptor, just make sure that was disruptor number six. Disruptor number seven, constant exposure to blue light. Now, who knew this? The light that we use is actually, I guess we would classify it as blue light. It's not sunlight. And back in if we go 100 years back, we didn't have electric lights. So the electric lights that we use are blue lights for the most part. And blue lights make us eat. Who knew, right? It's not the sunlight. Blue lights puts us into an endless summer situation. In the summer, we're supposed to eat in order to get ready for the winter. So we are eating hand over fist, fist over hand, plate over plate. However we can eat, we are eating, and it is partially because of the blue light. Now, next week, I'm going to go into each of those disruptors, 1 through 7. But for now, I think we've spent enough time on that. Just enough to make you scared the living daylights out of you. What are you doing? I mean, because all of these things, practically everything you've been doing or I've been doing, has been bad for us. And they're making us sick, if not gain weight. Plenty of people have gained weight and wondered why. Well, those are the reasons why, those 7 reasons. So you're living longer, but not as well. And we're going to do something to change that beginning next week, because next week we will talk about each of these 7 deadly disruptors. We've already talked about the healthy holes. That was discussed in chapters 1 through 3, the grains that we thought we were eating that were healthy for us. Well, now we know differently. But we will discuss the 7 deadly disruptors next week. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, sports fans everywhere, that is Wellness Wednesday for today. We are still on the Plant Paradox. I encourage you to go out and get the book so that you can go along with me, because you're going to learn that when you first read it, you're not going to be able to assimilate everything in the book. But by going through it with me, we're going to touch on practically every subject that the book covers, and it's going to stick with you a lot faster and a lot harder. Cling to you so that you can get off the things that are killing you. And I don't say that lightly. So you can stay away from the foods that are actually trying to kill you. Because remember, plants are living animals too, or living organisms also, and they are trying to survive. And their survival depends on you not eating them, which is what they're trying to stop you from doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun. Thank you for another Wellness Wednesday on the Amazing Grace Sports Network. I am Clay Morris, and I bring to you all the things that I think you should know that I come across. If I come across it, I'm going to let you know, because if you're waiting for the mainstream media to inform you, you are in deep trouble, because their main job is to advertise. They get paid to advertise. So your health is not their primary concern. their wealth is. And with that, I say, have a good day. Goodbye. Remember, you are the most important person, not only in sports, but in your health. Take care of you because nobody else is going to take care of you like you will do. Goodbye, everybody. Have a great Wednesday, and we will see you tomorrow on NBA Thursday when we will talk about the NBA. I'll see you then. Goodbye.